All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. I know some of us are live, so thank you for making time out of your schedule to be live. You are going to be so glad you did because you have a rare opportunity to meet direct selling icon guru who is launching the hottest platform on the space right now. So you can ask questions because you're live, and everybody else who's listening to playback, you're going to get some great information. We missed you live, but thanks for joining. I just want to remind everybody that we are almost 10 days left of the month. You are working towards your half price off coupons. Congratulations. Kim bagged a few of those. And I can't remember. I know a couple else are working towards that. So make sure you guys pay attention to your volume, over the next 10 days to take advantage of that, because those are powerful things. And then Kim is going to close you out today and manage the call because I'm afraid I'm going to lose juice. I was out and about today. But so Kim's going to close us out. But to just start off, I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Jessica Kane. If you haven't met her yet, she is the founder and CEO of Genie Chat, which is a very powerful 3-in-1 app that is going to help you work smarter, not harder, and make your follow-up and the connections you create with your customers a breeze. It's going to give you the tools and resources, and she's going to share some value-added tips for you, and then information if you're interested in learning more about her platform and how you can get started. We'll share a link that you can use to get started. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica. Give her a big Measure Made welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Kim, can you make it to where I can screen share, please? Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I am so excited and thrilled.
Yeah, he's fine. It's got those eyes. But
let's see. I'm hearing background noise.
Yeah, Kim, maybe mute yourself.
I'm trying to see if I can help. But yes, so we're here to talk about follow-up. And it's so funny because I think we all know we need to be following up. Everybody does. But how many of us are actually doing it effectively? Very, very few. And let's see, I was going to share my screen. She's getting it there, right, Kim? I think she's trying to figure out how, she made me host. There we go. That will work, Kim. Thank you. All right. So follow-up is where we all know the fortune is. However, so many of us kind of, whenever we have that task that we just avoid, and we let it slip into cracks and we tell ourselves, oh, I'll do it today. And then we don't. And then days go by and weeks go by. And then eventually you have warm leads in your warm, hot market sitting there for you that are just dying on the vine. And it's because we need to nurture those relationships, and you cannot nurture through automation. You just can't. So what I did is I created an app to help us, but I'm going to give you lots of tips tonight that you don't need my app for at all. So I want you to leave here with actionable tips and to leave with one thing that you're like, I'm going to start this right now, today. So I'm going to make sure you're equipped with confidence because you have a simple system. So imagine waking up being excited about follow-up because you're like, 10 minutes, done, best day ever. Like you're going to feel so confident. And then how to do it effectively and efficiently. And then also the secret to never forgetting the follow-up. So in the chat, please let me know, do you struggle with follow-up? And if so, why? So let me know in the chat why you struggle with follow-up. And if you don't struggle with follow-up, that's awesome. Good for you. So my name is Jessica, as Kathleen said. I created a 3-in-1 app for social sellers. I have many, many years in the sales industry, and I'm a 40-something entrepreneur. I've built 4 multi-million-dollar companies all around social media, community management, and growth and social selling. And a fun fact, I'm an operations nerd, and I used to run the 2nd largest truck stop in America. So I really love efficiency. And my passion here is just to make sure that no seller feels left behind. So many sellers are feeling like they need simpler tools and maybe, something that's not some complicated funnel that's like takes hours to set up and you need scripts and all the things, right? Sometimes you need to start with the basics, and that's what this is for. Now, How many times have you emailed someone? You're like, I followed up, I emailed, or you DM'd them. And then you forget, and it, like, literally weeks or months go by and you're like, oh yeah, that, Shirley. Oh yeah. Because now you're thinking about hitting goals. Now you're like digging in to the soil, like, oh God, what do I have? And yet you didn't talk to Shirley for weeks or even months, and you don't even know what's going on in her life. So how many people have done that? Because a lot of the people, I see some hands. We all do that. We get like in this zone and we're like talking to people, Zoom, email, boom, send, boom, send. But then if they don't reply back, they're gone, because we don't have a strategy to make sure that when they're busy, when they're distracted, it's our job to make sure we follow up. It's not their job, it's ours. So we need to remember them, okay? So I used to do this all the time. I did that. I was that person. Like, I would only talk to people who replied back to me. Worst idea ever, because some people are just very busy, okay? They need you. It's just not the right time. So I created this framework. Now, this is definitely an advanced framework, but when you're first starting out, step one is mindset. Mindset. The number one thing that I'm getting from people, and right now I do challenges. We have lots of challenges going on. I'm like the Peloton instructor of follow-up. So I'm like, you got this, team. Go do, 2 more DMs or 2 more reminders. So what we do though, is we start with mindset. And I want to know, I see some people are struggling in the comments. So that's great. Deborah, thank you for sharing. Anyone else, tell me if you struggle with fear of rejection or fear of resistance or fear of what to say, or feeling awkward, or any of those kinds of things. Do any of you have that? Because gosh, 8 out of 10 people I talk to do. And they usually feel awkward. And sometimes they just do their fear of rejection. And so what I'm going to share is some follow-up tricks to get over that. But the first step, and thank you so much, Wendy, the first step is mindset. And to remember, that follow-up is valuable, but you also know that follow-up does not mean to sell. That's different. Follow-up does not mean sell. It means nurture. It means engage. It means talk to somebody, conversations, okay? So the first thing is usually like a total misunderstanding of what follow-up should be in this new social media era. Now, 10 years ago, follow-up was a call or an email, check up on their order. Did they host? It was more transactional. It really was, except for the people in your neighborhood or in your group of friends, right? But now you're on social media and we have to nurture. Now there's a trick, because we all know the algorithm is extremely mean, right? It doesn't like to show our post to anybody. The trick to getting your sales posts to reach more people in their news feed is to have more conversations in the DMs. I didn't say sales combos, any combos, any. You can talk about dogs, the weather, lipstick, whatever. It doesn't have to be about business. So the more you go back and forth like a tennis, you go bing, 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 your conversations, try to keep them going. All right. That's the goal. Because the more you do that, the more Facebook will go, oh, Shirley wants to see Jamie's posts. And now when you're selling in your posts, like when you post about a sale or opportunity or host gift or something, they're going to most likely see it in their news feed, and you're selling to them, but in a not like a passive way, which is the beauty of social media, because then you're top of mind, and when they need you, they will get back to you. Does that make sense? How does that sound, you guys? Tell me in the comments, how does that sound as far as follow-up being engagement and conversations? Follow-up equals conversations, not sales, all right? Let's just focus on conversations, because when you have a conversation, you're able to overcome the fear of resistance, because there's no resistance. If you're complimenting them on their daughter graduating, she's going to be, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. If you're complimenting or sharing or showering love on somebody and just showing them that you care, you won't get resistance. You'll get someone going, wow, they're taking a second to support me. That's cool. And the more you do that, the more you build a relationship and the more you're top of mind. How does that sound? I love it. Wendy, no problem talking. It's just ask him to join, to team the host purchase. That's so true. The art of the close is a whole nother thing. When you get that follow-up and you know you're at the point where they're like, you need to ask, like they said something that you're like, ooh, their problem that they mentioned, you're like, this, they could be, my opportunity, they could host or join my team or purchase would solve whatever problem they have. Then it's learning to say, hey, Jamie, you just said you were trying to make an extra $50. Just so you know, I have this thing. Are you interested in more info? If you keep it very general like that, Wendy, then she can go, oh, really? Tell me more. And then it starts the convo. Okay. So if you're a convo girl, Wendy, that's how you keep that convo going. And still, because remember the mindset, you're presenting a solution. Like we girls, especially, if you told me, oh my God, I love your lipstick, I'm going to tell you where I got it, how much I paid for it. And that is how we are. Okay. Because we want to help out our fellow girl. And that's all you're doing. You're helping out your fellow girl. So have that mentality. Okay. But whatever you do, ask them, you do just like one line. I have something you might like. Would you be interested in hearing more? Like literally 2 sentences. That's it. Wait for them to go, no, not right now. And we have objections to help you. But if they say, no, not right now, you go, sure, no problem. I'm going to keep tabs on you because who knows, maybe next week will be better or whatever. Keep it casual. Okay. I love it. Kim, yes, build the relationship before you jump in for sure. Because then you have something to reference. You can say, Shirley, we've been talking for 2 weeks and you told me about your kids and this, that, and that. Like, did you know I do this? Like, and she may not even know you do what you do. It's one of those things. You're like, did you know I do this? Oh my gosh, I have so much fun. And then you leave it. The art of curiosity is do not tell them all the things. Tell them just enough to make them ask the question, right? And Kim's like, yes, yes, yes. You it's just enough, because that is the number one thing direct sellers are like failing at, is the telling them everything right off the bat. You're drowning them in info. They're like, oh God. They can't even get to the part in their brain where they're curious because they've already been turned off because they don't want to hear the rest of it yet. Like they're not ready to hear what you have to say. Okay. So that's like a whole other training we need to do because I get really passionate about that. It's so much fun. But back to this follow-up, 50% of those sales are happening after the 5th touch, then touch, interaction. Now, this means it's an interaction, not just you liking their post. That's not enough. An interaction needs to be you comment and they comment back. You DM, they DM back, you DM. So it's like ping pong, right? So always focus on when you follow up, 2 sentences max, doesn't need to be more than that, and end with a question. Keep it simple, keep it light. And then the person goes, oh, because we're all so busy, them reading a whole paragraph, they're going to get lost. They're like, done. They're not going to do it. How do you get them into chat? Let's see. That's a good question. Usually, if you're just making friends with them, like they haven't been a customer, like is this someone just you want to be friends with, right? That you're looking at, the one you think would be a great customer or host? I don't know how to help you unmute. You can nod.
Okay. They're just new people in events that you just meeting, and I don't know how to change it from the post to go into chat without sounding so quick on the button.
That's right. And you're only quick on the button if you mention your business. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't mention your business, then you are doing it the right way. You are following up to say, hey, I saw you were in this thing, just saying hi, wanted to introduce myself. And then maybe you look at their profile and they got a new puppy and you're like, oh my gosh, your puppy's so cute, or whatever it is. Like, you want to find things that you have in common to start a conversation, because those are the building blocks to relationships, like the things that people have in common. Like, that's why direct sellers, if you're a crafter, just in general, you can go to crafting Facebook groups and make lots of friends pretty easy, because you kind of have the same thing in mind, right? So try to find those things. And that's what I would suggest first, before DMing them, and before, I mean, not even the second or third. So I went to a party, I went to a vendor event, and I had a Tupperware girl, and I love Tupperware. This is a crazy thing. I'm obsessed with Tupperware, okay? It's my thing. And the way she approached me, she was like, oh my gosh, you won the free gift. You know, just let me know what category or whatever. Don't do this free gift BS if it's not for real, because her free gift was a PDF to like her business, and she was trying to get my email. Like, that's what she was trying to do. So anyway, she got blocked. I really wanted to help her out with that, but you need to not get in the DMs until you kind of ask permission in a way, or you know that you've warmed it up enough that you could just shoot a DM and say, oh my gosh, I just thought of you, XYZ, and they kind of recognize your name. Does that make sense, Wendy? Okay. Because the DMs, you guys, the DMs is the new front door. So if you are going into someone's DMs, especially consumers, so we're all entrepreneurs and business people, right? Our business is online. So we're all about DM me and DM you and like, we're all in the DMs. But average people, consumers, the average person who is not like us is not just answering DMs from anyone. Like, they're not. It's friends, family. And if you just pop in their DMs, they're just instantly questionable. Okay. So get them warmed up first before the DM. All right. So who knew this stat? 50% of sales after the 5th touch. That's wild, right? I love it. Deborah, you knew, right? That was good. So this is just a reminder that the lowest hanging fruit is at the 4th contact and more. So look at this. 80% of salespeople stop and give up after the 3rd contact. And I see it all the time. I see gals with my follow-up challenge. They'll get 3, they will, and then they follow up and forget to set a reminder, like in Genie Chat, or anywhere, but that's what Genie Chat's for. And then they lose it. And the 4th and 5th follow-up is where the gold is. So whatever you do, remember, get to 5. And like, so if you have Genie Chat, you can have, like, this is Genie Chat, you have a history. So see how I have 1, 2, 3, 4? I know I've had 4 interactions. My 5th one is scheduled. This is a very easy way for you to know, whew, I'm not at 5 yet. Your goal should always be at least 5, even before you talk business. Like, unless they're super receptive, you get those people, and sometimes they're just asking you straight out the gate, how can I do this too? Which is great. But when we're out there scoping and fishing, I call it, like, you know, we're gold mining, we're panning for gold. Okay. And like, we have to like shift, pan, and it takes some time. All right. So this is the Genie Chat contact thing where you can track the amount of follow-up. If you don't have Genie Chat, you could even do like a spreadsheet, and you could have a column and maybe like a check mark in each column or something. You know, that way you can keep track that way. So how many here, tell me, how many do you think is your average? Like, what do you think your average is on follow-up? How many touches are you getting? 2? Yeah, 2 is a main one for sure. 2 and 3 are usually the most popular. Kim, probably 3. Good. Let's see, Wendy. Much. El much. Not, I was like, El mucho. Okay, not much. So right now, I need you to think about, how are you going to get more? What system can you use? If it's not Genie Chat, that's totally okay. But I want you to leave this call, because everyone on this call needs to hit these numbers. I want you to leave this call and start tracking. Track. All right. So think on it, because by the end of the call, I'm going to ask you, and you're making a commitment to yourself. This is a promise to yourself. Okay. Because 50% of sales happen after the 5th touch. So if you want to increase your sales by 50%, I would go back to the last 50 people you've ever talked to, nurture, 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 till the soil, get those to 5. And then you're right before the holiday. So then you've tilled the soil. The soil is ready for holiday promotion. See, so then you're not just talking to them out of the blue, trying to sell them stuff, because everyone is. So spend September and that first week of October just chatting. Be a chatty Cathy, social butterfly. And it warms up the algorithm and it warms up people to you. So how does that sound? Deborah, in the event you chat back and forth, but it's product oriented, do those count? Oh yeah, totally, for sure. And that's even better because you've already got them in the funnel. Like they're good, right? So that's great. But don't forget, every day, you need to reach out to some new people. We got to plant some new seeds every day. Because if we know it takes this many follow-ups, then, and we spend all of our energy getting to 4, 5, and 6, and we do those, then what happens? We have nothing behind it to come in. So we need to also every day do 5 minutes of reaching out to new people and making friends. Just making friends. Okay. Yeah. The best place to find your new audience and being genuinely interested in them, for sure. For sure. So think about trying to find people who you genuinely get along with. They can totally, you can tell people's vibe, right? You can totally tell like if they're your vibe or not. And you can tell by their photo, their first little bio and their first post. Are these my people? I don't mess with anyone who's not my people. I don't have time for that. Because first of all, it'll take too much time to convince them to be my people. And I don't have time for that. And second of all, there are so many more, there are billions of people on the internet and you have an online business, so you can get a customer from everywhere, right? So just go find new people. Just make new friends. 5 new friends a day. Deborah, are you going to make 5 new friends a day? She's like, I love it. So whatever you do, oh yeah, vendor events are such a great spot, right? Whatever you do, oh, heavy metal. See, Kim, this is why you're my people. Because I'm a heavy metal concert girl. See, you know your vibe. We know vibes, people. So, yep, Debbie, I'm all about heavy metal, baby. Bring it. I'm old school. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. But look, Wendy, do you see just right there how we bonded over heavy metal? And instantly, like a connection gets tighter. It's wild. But all you have to do is find the things. And you find the things by going through their profile, watch their videos, read their posts. I always say like you're a detective. And as a detective, you need to keep notes. So for instance, if you have Genie Chat, let's say this is Brittany, my girl, I can keep notes on her favorite things, on her pain points. I can keep track. I can sort by all these tags so I can keep track of somebody. So imagine being able to talk to 100 different people and have their stuff right in front of you. And you remember, oh, that's right. She likes to mountain bike. And what did we talk about last? Okay. Yeah. We talked about conference shirts. Okay. You have to get yourself kind of freshened up again. Remember where you left off, or else you put your foot in your mouth, right? I've done that once or twice where I'm like, hey, oh my God, how are you doing? And then I forgot that on Instagram, I said hi to the person and they said, don't talk to me or something. And I forgot that part. And then I was on Facebook. So this is why with Genie Chat, you can track your reminders across any and all social and connection. Okay. SMS, email, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And I did that so you don't have to do what I did by putting your foot in your mouth because you're like, oops, sorry. I could say like, oh my God, that was my bot. I'm sorry. Blame it on the intern. So this is what Genie Chat does to keep you organized. And the reason it's important is because the best follow-up is intentional. It's not spray and pray. So the only way to make intentional follow-up, you need to know, if you look at your Rolodex of people, who are the people that you're on 1 or 2 connections, like touches? And who are the people you're on 3 or 4? And who are the people on 7 or 8? You need to know where in your funnel these people are. Now that's really hard to do on pen and paper. I won't even lie. You could do it, but that's why you have tags in Genie Chat to easily tag, sort, boom, you know instantly where they are in your spot. Okay. Where do I find Genie? Wendy's like, tell me. Kim has a link. She can share the link with you. And you do get a free trial. So always segment your contacts. If you have to do this old school with pen and paper, then do index cards, like a Rolodex style index cards. And there's a reason why Rolodexes were so effective and awesome, because it was fast. We kept notes. We put a Post-it on it. Like you can keep everything there, right? It was great. But that's what Genie Chat is now, is your digital Rolodex. Okay. All right. So I want to know who here is segmenting their contacts. Do you have, like if I said right now, who are your top 10 hottest contacts that are ready to go and have not purchased yet? Would you know? Most of us wouldn't, right? Because we're going off memory. Like there's no way to know. But if you can discipline yourself, because Genie Chat is like a treadmill, you have to use it. It won't do it for you, okay? But if you can train yourself to put in your person, add a tag, like, so for instance, this tag, if I wanted to add a tag for, like hot, like a hot lead. So hot, cold, and warm are super popular ways to kind of categorize your 3 buckets. Then when you look at all your contacts, notice how when I click that search bar, I'm just going to type in warm. Do you see how fast that was? I didn't even hit enter. Like it searches as I type. That's how fast it is. So if you want mountain bike, if you want loves gold, I have 3 people I tagged that love gold. Or maybe there's a pain point that you guys address. Maybe it's they only like skinny jeans or something, or whatever it is. Maybe they're a new mom and it's maternity issues or something, right? So you can always then categorize your people by the pain point. So if you get categorized by pain point, and then Jessica said you got to get 5 touches, and you can go in there and go, ooh, I have 3, schedule 2 more touches so you don't forget. You're going to get that 50% of sales just sitting out there, if not more. Like that's exciting, right? I love it. Kathleen, Genie Chat's a workhorse. That's true. I love it. So the reminder section of Genie Chat looks like this. And the reason it has a chat button is so when it's time to talk to whoever, because you reminded yourself, you can click the chat button and it opens up their social network instantly, saving you time. You go through and say, what's been going on? Oh, they had a birthday. So think about a birthday is a great opportunity to give them a coupon or something, right? You give them like a QR code coupon. That's a great little thing that's about your business, but it's still not pushy. But you just do your follow-up and you can archive it. Next. And you got Brittany. So click on it. Next. Jamie, click on the chat. Say hello. Do the follow-up. Next. And this is how people are able to do 5 to 10 follow-ups in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. It takes a few minutes to put them in. Not even that. Let me show you how fast it takes. I don't think it's even a minute. I need a timer. So I'm going to create a new contact. And all I know is Peggy. And I think her last name is Smith. And I don't have any other info about her. Save. This is important because then you don't have to fill out all the junk. You're not forced to. Okay. So now I have a contact card for Peggy Smith. And I'm going to put a note. met at Holiday Bazaar. She loved my jeans, and maybe they were dark wash. And then you have notes about her because you have that event. And by the way, when you're at the event, you can pull out your phone and do this so fast. It hasn't even been a minute. It's been seconds. And then you can set a reminder, go talk to Peggy next week, boom, done. Okay. That's how fast it is to create a new contact, add a note, set a reminder, all under a minute. Okay. So let's go back. Now, I want to really end on nurture, 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 nurture. And recurring reminders are the easiest way to do that. This obviously requires Genie Chat. I don't know how you would do recurring reminders with the pen system or like a spreadsheet system, because you would, unless you looked in there every day and you were very, diligent about it. But with Genie Chat, you can set weekly reminders. So for instance, if I wanted to weekly engage with my team, I don't have any team in here. What do I have in here? We're going to pretend Loves Gold is my team. So I'm going to select all, hit done. What it's doing is creating 3 individual reminders at one time for me. So that's even faster. So team engage. They're new teamies maybe. And I just want to make sure I'm going to do recurring every week on Friday. And I want to do these in the morning time. And our team, we're on Facebook, safe. So now every week on Friday, you're going to see these team engage. Okay. Every week. Here's this week. Here's Friday. Here's this week. That's Friday. Do you see? So then you have those for you all the time. Those are recurring reminders. And recurring reminders, for me, I have found the most success with, because the people, it's so funny. What's great about recurring reminder is that you don't have to keep creating a reminder to keep following up. So sometimes you just want to keep it recurring because they just started and you need to get to 5, probably 8 touches. So you could just set a recurring because you got to get to 8 anyway, and just do a recurring every week on a certain day of the week. When you do that, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a client or a sale after the 7th or 8th touch, and I'm telling you, they never replied to me. I reached out 7 or 8 different times before they even said a word to me. And then they finally were like, they say thank you. They say thank you because they're too busy to remember me. So that's why I love recurring reminders. I think it's super, super, super great. And then the last thing is clues. The clues are so important. Remember, like the music clue, like Kim, right? So if I went to Kim's profile, and when you go to profiles, there's this section of hobbies, right? Let's see. Are we friends? Yeah, we are. Let's see. Oh, she like clamps it all down. So let's go to events, likes. So you can see people's stuff. Like you can get a very quick sense of what people like. Let me go to mine and show you something real quick. Here it is. So some people, I'm one of those weirdos, I'm an overshare. So I have all my hobbies here. And this is just because I want to find my people. Okay. That's why I share. And if you are trying to make friends with people who obviously aren't sharing anything on social, it means they don't want to be bugged. Okay. I wouldn't even bother with people who are that way. They don't, who has time for that? So mine has ATVs, investing, art, movies, snowmobile, off-road racing, and all the stuff. So if I found this person and I saw racing and I love racing, I would be like, OMG, do you know about F1 coming to Vegas? Are you coming? And they're going to be like, OMG, what? And I'll be like, yeah, I just moved to Vegas. Instant conversation, instant friends. Okay. Instant. When you can find those hobbies of things people are passionate about, like their animals, that's a big one, right? Like I have a Cocker Spaniel, a good for nothing Cocker Spaniel, love him, but he's good for nothing. And other Cocker Spaniel owners get me because they're not very smart. So I would encourage you to look for clues like this one and then track your clue. Be sure, because remember, we're not going to remember. We will not remember. The next time you're trying to convince yourself you'll remember how you said in this chat that you might get to 2 to 3 follow-ups. Okay. That's proof that you cannot remember it all. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think us women, like it's like, we're almost embarrassed. Like, no, I'm a superhero. I can remember all the things. And I'm one of those. My brain's a sponge. I can remember a lot. Even there's no way I can remember everyone's name, their dog's name. Like here, dog's name, Benny, Cocker Spaniel, and she's on a health challenge. You know, those are key things for me to chat with Jamie. And it builds like a story. You're like you build as you get more clues, then you have a story. Okay. You learn about her challenges in her life, her pain points, her things that she loves. And the reason you care about that, it has nothing to do with your product, nothing at all. It has to do with them as a human, it has to do with them and the relationship. That is what's going to get you up and over the 50 or 60 other direct seller friends in their orbit who are trying to sell them. Like they're getting hammered all the time. But if you could be the one who obviously is a seller, your profile has your stuff, you're promoting, but you're not in your DMs being pushy with them. You're just showing them love. You're being a good friend. You will get the sale before anyone else. You will. Okay. Promise you. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Kim. Yes. People drop clues all the time. They're sharing their whole life. It's fantastic. Our job has never been easier. Like I used to sell Tupperware and I was at a truck stop and I had to literally make conversation with people the old school way. It was hard. It was hard work because you had to ask the questions to even know who these people were. But now we have social media, man. You can find out in a second if they're your people. If you are like, ugh, they sound boring or they're stuck up or, well, then don't talk to them. Go find another one. Find someone you genuinely think is cool. Okay. All right. So, plan, then do. My last challenge that I challenge everybody. Can you commit 10 to 15 minutes every day, like a doctor's appointment, like a hair appointment you'll never miss? 10 to 15 minutes every day to doing this focused, strategic, intentional follow-up. That's key. And it needs to be something where I've had so many times, you guys, I'm exhausted. I'm developing an app. I'm doing trainings. I've got speaking gigs. I'm website, just the whole thing, videos. And then I get in bed and I'm like, oh, I didn't do my 10. Guess what I do? You do the 10. You just got to do it. It's like doing the 10,000 steps or doing the got to lose 5 pounds or whatever. It's like any goal, you need to have a plan and commit to it, whatever it is. And I want you to make that commitment to yourself. So tell me in the comments if you're going to make a commitment to yourself. You too, Wendy. I'm looking at you. And if you need help, if you need accountability and inspiration, I'm always running challenges all the time. So you can look at my profile, come friend me. I always have challenges and where I show up live for 15 minutes and I'm like your Peloton coach, getting you inspired and fired up to go do it. 100. Kim, you're doing 100 a day? She's a rock star. 100%. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that is going to be the end. I, of course, want to make sure you know that I would love for you to try Genie Chat. There's so much that it does I didn't even show you tonight. Kim, who happens to be a user and a lover of it, I'm sure she has a link she could share with you and share why she loves it. But it does so much more. And it has AI for social sellers and it has content management and all the things. And it really I created it for the non-techie, for the person who needs the simplest way to track their people, get their reminders, track their content, like simple. And that's what I did with this app. So it's a 3-in-1 app. It's only $9.99 a month. And that's my commitment to make sure you have powerful yet affordable software. I'm like super passionate about that. So that is The end, Kim. Ta-da!
All right.
Any questions? Devin wanted to hear more. Oh, girl, I never stop talking. Just come over to my Facebook. Come over to my Facebook. You'll hear all the things. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Kim did put her link in the thing, but it didn't link your end of it. Only the geniechat.com. Why did it do that? You know how it's like highlighted? That's not cool. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if a slash will help it. How do I do just a chat to everybody? Ooh. Meeting group chat. Okay, there we go. Send. Oh, there it goes. So click on the one with mine because I put an extra thing for you, Kim. It's a techie thing.
Okay.
It shouldn't matter, but Zoom is being silly. So the extra slash bracket makes it all connected. So be sure to click on that one because I want Kim to get, some credit off of that. Okay, guys? Deborah, I can do this. I need to get all my people in Genie Chat. Yes, ma'am. You can import through CSV if you have some kind of CSV or system where you export. You can do that. You can also use the form where people fill out their info for you. We have a self-serve form that is like bananas amazing, especially if you do live events, but even online events, you can get people to, it's like a Google form. So this little form, you hit that plus the little button right there. And when that person goes to this link, anyone, they don't need a Genie Chat account, they can put in their info. So they're like Tiffany Beals. And then what I usually do is encourage you to incentivize them to want to fill out the stuff. And a lot of us have auto fill out. So it just goes and it fills out everything instantly because Chrome remembers it, right? So it just does all of the mailing and all of it for us. And then you encourage them to leave some notes. And I always recommend around pain points, like what's your most frustrating blank? Okay, whatever that is. And what's your favorite blank? So have them enter notes and say, love skinny jeans forever. I'm a forever millennial and it's never going to change. And then loves white. And interestingly enough, when you send this form to somebody, we've had people book gigs, book hosts, and even find recruits off of this form that they didn't think would ever want to host or any of that. But you have these options here and they'll check them. They'll go, oh yeah, I want to host a party. And they'll check it. So then they save it and you will get an email notification, not email. You'll get a notification. And I usually do my incognito window, but the way it's sharing. So then I get a notification right here. Tiffany filled out a form. So then I know, oh, Tiffany filled out a form. Here's the note she gave me. She wants to be a host. And then you can start following up on her. So then you can have people do the work for you, which is always a great way to do it. I love it. Deborah, she said, nope, I asked them all to fill it out and no one did it. Yeah, that happens for sure. It depends where you are and how good your incentive is. Like if you have a really juicy incentive, that's usually kind of the only way, like an enter to win kind of situation. And then Wendy, this will improve my tracking. Absolutely. And we're going to have more coming to Genie Chat, by the way, including habit tracking and way more things to help you be more efficient and effective. So I'm excited to keep bringing you new features and never having to change the price. So you keep getting new things and you're not going to keep getting charged for it. So that's it. Any more questions?
Will you turn me over to the host again so that I can stop the recording and download it and everything, please?
Yes. Yes.
You guys, this is really a great thing. I've been working on it for 5 or 6 weeks, and it really has helped with the follow up. I mean, because you go in there and it just automatically like, oh yeah, I've got to make sure I do this today. So, and like she said, she didn't even touch on half the features. There's so much other stuff in there.
That is so true. It's your all-in-one. for all the basics. Like you don't need Google Drive anymore. You don't need Facebook group